there's something that I do or that happens to me that is apparently unusual, although not totally unheard of. It's a thing psychologists refer to as lucid dreaming. And this is a kind of dream that people have where the details and everything are so sharp and so clearly realized that it's almost impossible to tell the difference between your dream and actual experience. Well, I first heard Mississippi John Hurt on the Folkways Anthology, and immediately set to work to learn. He got 2 tunes on it. Set to work to learn those 2 tunes, and he was God. That was simple, there is, there's God. And later on, I heard more of his old recordings and so on. I never heard anything to make me doubt that was God. And I assumed, I suppose I have some Nietzsche in me or something like that, that he was dead. So we cut to 1963, and I was in Boston, and I was sitting in a little coffee house called the Cafe Yada. It was over near Fenway Park. And I'm sitting in the coffee house, and there, on stage, with a guitar in his hand, was God. He was alive. Had been alive all this while. A fellow by the name of Tom Hoskins went down to Mississippi, found him, and brought him up. Yes. Let's hear it for Tom. And I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, this has to be one of those lucid dreams. And then I decided, no, it couldn't be, because it was too far-fetched. And, well, I met John that night, and subsequently we became good friends. I had a chance to sit at God's feet. I learned this. This old hammer, it killed John Henry. Won't kill me. Won't kill me. This old hammer, it killed John Henry. Won't kill me. John Henry left his hammer lying there, side of the road. Side of the road. John Henry left his hammer lying there in the drizzling rain. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. You tell him I'm gone. Tell him I'm gone. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. In the river, it'll ring right on, ring right on. Take this hammer, throw it in the river, it'll ring right on. Got a rainbow around my shoulder, shine like gold, shine like gold. Got a rainbow around my shoulder, shine like gold. It's a long way from Eve my home. It's a long ways from East Colorado to my home. I'm going back to that red clay country. That's my home. That's my home. Going back to that red clay country where I belong. John Henry was a steel driving man, but he went down. He went down. John Henry was a steel driving man. This old hammer, it killed John Henry. Won't kill me, won't kill me. This old hammer, it killed John Henry. Won't kill me, won't kill me. Actually, seeing him do those tunes, well, there were two, he had two tunes on the Anthology, and he did both of them that night. And it was, well, he did Frankie's Blues, and it was slower than I remembered him doing it. Also, his voice seemed to have dropped in pitch and timbre. And afterward, I went backstage to meet him, and we were talking. And I was trying to figure out a nice way to ask him, well, your reflexes have slowed down now. And I broached about it very tentatively. I said, that song, the Frankie's Blues? And he said, oh. He says, you want to know why it's so much slower than it used to be? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, that song was so long that they had to speed it up to get it all on one side of a 78. That brought the whole thing to life for me. That all of a sudden made the whole thing a human experience, not just something that I heard off of a piece of wax.